Everyone, welcome to your week 2 mobility flow. Today what we're going to be focusing on is a little bit of opening through your chest, so especially for anyone who has been working from home and most likely at a laptop here. This is also good for daily life if you are working at an office, but we want to open up through your chest a little bit. And then if you guys did the circuit challenge with the jumping lunges, we're going to give some nice attention to your quads, so that should feel good. So we're going to start today in a either puppy pose or a variation of a prayer puppy pose. So where I'm going to start is I'm going to start with my knees about hip width apart. You can start in a tabletop pose, and then your puppy pose is you're going to start to walk those hands all the way out in front of you. You can rest your forehead here, and your hips should be stacked above your knees. If this feels okay, and if you have enough mobility, you can press your elbows into the floor and take your hands together right back behind your head. I'm then going to walk my elbows in a little bit closer and just kind of be in this position and breathe. It shouldn't feel uncomfortable on your shoulders. If it does, then you can always find a child's pose too, a little bit of a different variation. So just take some big, deep inhales through your nose. Big, deep exhales through your mouth. Starting to down regulate a little bit, breathing in through the nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. 2 more big breaths like that, just allowing yourself to soften in. Once you find your last exhale, start to straighten out those arms. Walk them back underneath your shoulders. And then we're going to start to lower ourselves down from our knees all the way down, knees, chest, chin. So just lay down onto your belly. And where I'm going to go from here is we're going to start opening up through the chest a little bit. So I'm going to start to extend my right arm out to the side. My left hand is going to be right underneath my left shoulder. I'm just going to start to do a little scorpion twist. So this left leg is going to come up and the toes are going to reach towards my right fingertips. They're not going to touch most likely. But I'm pressing away with my left arm here, and I'm reaching and extending through my right fingertips. Take a few breaths here. Start to feel that right lung expanding. Exhale, feel yourself soften in. Last big breath. As you exhale, gently come out of this. Very nice. Moving on over to the left side. Take that left arm out straight, shoulder height, not above, not below, but shoulder height. Right hand's going to come underneath that shoulder. Right leg lifts up and curls back behind. You should be resting on the outside or that left side of your head. So just breathe here. Notice if one side maybe feels tighter than the other. No major judgments on that, but just notice. Take one last big inhale. Last big exhale, gently come out of that. Good, we're gonna just start to get into your quads nice and gentle. So come up onto your elbows. With your right hand, reach back and start to search for that right foot. I'm gonna stack my knees so that they're side by side. Then you can come down and lay down on that left hand. From here, I'm not just gonna be super passive in this pose, I could be, but where I want you to be is I want you to start to press your hips into the ground, especially that right hip, which means it's gonna start to make you squeeze through your right glutes. And I want you to feel like you could extend your right knee down towards your left toe. So this is all happening isometrically. So on the inside, you're not really moving or shifting a whole ton, but I really want you to start to extend and then hug that heel in. Take a few breaths. You can also flex your foot here. That may increase the tension a little bit, so just play with it. One last breath. Good, switch that out. Reach back, search for that left foot. Depending on the flexibility, you may not even rest on that right hand, but you can. Again, I'm gonna be squeezing through my left glutes, so through my left butt cheek. I'm gonna extend my left knee, feel like I could reach down towards my right toes, and then I'm actively hugging that heel in towards my hip. Again, you can flex your left toes here if that feels good. Big, deep belly breaths here. Last big inhale. Very nice. Gently come out of that. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. You can either push yourself up through a push-up, or you can come onto your knees, and we'll meet in a downward facing dog. Same thing as last week, because I want you to take a soft bend into those knees. Just let your chest press towards your thighs. Again, so you can just open up through that chest a little bit. Take an inhale. Maybe you sway your hips from side to side. Take an exhale. Good. And take one big in-breath. Rise up to the balls of your feet. As you exhale, press your heels into the ground, especially if you did those single leg calf raises. Your calf should be talking to you a little bit. As you inhale, I just want you to send that right leg high. You can keep a bend in this left knee and just let that open up to your hip a little bit. Try to keep your right shoulder tracking down if you can, and you should feel a little bit more through those obliques. Good, lengthen out. Release that down. Switch that out. Right knee can bend if you need to. Left leg's gonna rise nice and high. Open up. Traction the left shoulder down. So shoulders are squaring, hips are open. Good, lengthen out. And take that leg back to the ground. As you inhale, you're gonna send that right leg high again. Exhale, I want you to hug it all the way in towards that right side and take it to the outside of that right hand. Good, so this is gonna be a lizard pose. So I have a wide stance here. My feet are probably about hip width apart. So really wide stance. Hands can be to the inside here. If you have a little pillow or maybe something, or a box or stool or something, you can also put your elbows on that. If you feel really open and really mobile here, you can also take your elbows down towards the ground. What I'm looking for is not this rounding in your thoracic spine, but I'm looking for this extension through your collarbones. As you're here, try to hug this right hip crease back behind you, getting an action of scissoring in through your inner thighs. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. One more big in breath. Exhale, wide forward fold, top of your mat or top of wherever you're at. Bend those knees just a little bit. Let the crown of your head hang down. You can shake your head yes. You can shake your head no. Again, I want a soft bend in the knees here. Try not to lock out your legs. If you are a little bit less, or if you're a little bit tighter, then you can maybe bend those knees a little bit more. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. We're going to do a little ragdoll twist here. So my left hand's going to stay down towards the ground. It's going to go right above and in between my feet. I'm going to keep my left leg bent. Right arm lifts. Exhale, twist, look up towards that hand. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, release that up. Switch that out. Right knee bends. Right hand comes down. Left arm lifts. Exhale, twist. Breathe into that whole left lung. Hug the left hip crease back behind you. One more inhale. As you exhale, take both hands down towards the ground. Inhale, half lift, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, fold, place your hands down. Lower yourself all the way down onto your belly. You're gonna take a cobra pose. So hips stay on the ground, belly stays on the ground. Hands are right underneath your shoulders. Untuck your toes. Roll your shoulders back and down and lift with your back extensor muscles. So my low bottom ribs are still on the ground here. I'm still breathing. Take a breath in. Exhale, drop it back towards those knees. Tuck the toes, come up, and bring it on back. We're going to move on to that left side. Lift that left leg high. Exhale, take it nice and wide, again to the outside of that left hand. If you can't step that up, you can also hike your foot up. That's fine. Take both hands to the inside. Hug that left hip crease back. You should be on the middle ball of that back foot, not on the big toe side, not on the pinky toe side, right on the middle. And again, bring your collarbones forward. Make sure you're breathing. Left hip crease hugs back, right hip crease hugs forward. Take a breath in. As you exhale, take that forward fold, step all the way up towards the top, little bend in the knees, fold it in. Good, take that ragdoll twist again. With that right arm coming high, left hand comes down, bend that left knee a lot, lift up and twist. Take a breath in. Exhale, switch that out. Lift up and twist. Breath in. Exhale, come out of that. You're going to take those feet somewhat, maybe a little bit wider. Turn your toes out just a little bit. Drop yourself down towards a little squat. From here in this squat, I'm pressing my elbows into my thighs, knees into my elbows, and that's helping me lift here. Try to get your heels grounded as much as you can. Take a breath in, take a breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, hands will come down towards the ground. Step yourself back, lower all the way down, full range. Inhale, open up cobra pose. Hug those shoulder blades down your back, lifting up with your extensors. Squeeze those shoulder blades back behind you. Take your inhale. Exhale, let your chest come down. Tuck your toes, press up, and press yourself back. Beautiful. We're gonna switch this up a little bit. As you inhale, I want you to send that right leg nice and high. This time we're gonna send it nice and wide to that lizard pose again. So same sort of. I want you to drop to your back knee. Take your right hand to your right thigh. Use that to twist yourself open. Inhale, take your chest to center. Exhale, twist open. Inhale, chest to center. Exhale, twist open. Very nice. One more breath in. One more breath out. One more inhale. Very nice. As you exhale, both hands will come to the inside. Tuck your back toes, step yourself up to that squat, hands to the inside, or elbows to the inside of the knees. Take your inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Very nice. Lengthen out. Drop yourself back into that little squat. Lengthen through your chest. As your hands come down, I want you to step that right leg back nice and wide so you're in that lizard pose. Collarbones forward. Drop to that back right knee. Left hand's gonna come up to that thigh. Inhale through center. Exhale, start to twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, start to twist. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist. Beautiful. Inhale through center. Exhale, take both hands down. Just step it back, meet back in that downward facing dog. Good. We're going to add just a few more things onto this. We're going to finish this out. As you inhale, send that right leg high. Exhale, step it nice and wide. Outside of that right hand, lizard pose. Hard chest forward. Exhale, drop down to that back knee. You have the option to either find this twist, hand on the thigh, or if you can even reach back. My right arm is reaching back. Maybe it's even catching my left toes back behind me. I'm rolling my right shoulder back. If you can, reach for the outer edge of that foot. That'll help you open through your chest a little more. Take a breath in. Take your breath out. One more inhale. One more exhale. Very nice. Gently release that foot. Inhale. You're going to keep that back knee down, but just lift those arms overhead. As you exhale, interlace your hands back behind you. Hug your elbows in by your ears and feel like you're scooping your elbows up towards the sky as you curl back. Very nice. Staying slightly arched back. Lift through your fingertips. Right hand's going to come down either to your hip. Maybe if you have a pillow next to you, maybe a pillow, or it can even come down towards the floor. Good. So if you're in Derek's class and you did some side plank arches, this should feel good. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. One last inhale. Exhale, both hands come down. You're going to come back towards that squat. So tuck your back toes. Send that leg nice and wide. Drop yourself low. Lengthen through your heart here. Take your inhale. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. You're going to drop back down towards that squat, getting nice and mobile in your hips. Open through your chest. Very nice. Hands come to the inside. That right leg's going to sneak back behind you nice and wide so you're in that lizard pose. Good. Then you can drop down towards that back knee. Again, this left hand can come right up to your thigh. Or you can reach back. Left hand's going to reach back. Catch for the outer edge of that right foot. Good. Then start to settle yourself in. Hugging that heel in close to your hip if you can. Trying to keep this front left knee and ankle stacked. Try not to do anything kind of super weird or funky with that knee, but keep the big toe edge of that foot down. If you need to take it wider, you can. That can help. Good. Release that foot. Inhale, come up to a crescent B. So basically, stance on my leg stays the same. Arms come all the way overhead. Good. Interlace the hands back behind you. Curl those elbows up towards the sky and curl back. Breathe into this whole right side that's extended. And lift your arms overhead. Left hand either comes to your hip, either maybe a little pillow on the floor or on the floor. Make sure you're being supported by something. Don't just hang out in space. Lengthen and extend. Good. Extend through your fingertips. Extend beyond that right shoulder if you can. Then inhale, come out of this. Place your hands down towards the ground. Beautiful. Meet up in a tabletop pose. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Just give me a few cat and cows here. Inhaling and exhaling. Very nice. Then we're going to cross our ankles, meet down on our backs. Good. We are going to place our feet towards the floor. I'm going to cross my right ankle above my left knee. So we're going to take a figure 4 stretch here. So open through those hips just a little bit more. If you can either stay here with that right leg crossed, left foot on the ground, totally fine. Or you can interlace your hands back behind that left hamstring and hug in. Try to keep your low back on the floor and that and your hip bone, so your sacrum. That big wide bone back behind. Take about 5 or 8 breaths on each side. So this time, trying to control that breath moving in through your nose and let it come out through your nose. Let your exhales be longer than your inhales. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands. Keep that right leg crossing. I'm gonna let my left knee come down on towards the ground, and my right foot is gonna come down towards the ground. I'm gonna grab onto my right foot with my left hand, and my right arm's gonna open up towards the side. This should feel like a good little hip opener. Again, a little bit of a twist, possibly a little chest opener depending on how open you are in your chest. And keep that breath nice and slow. Good. So to place that left foot square down back on the ground, switch that out, right foot comes down, left leg crosses over top, find that figure four. Hands can interlace back behind that right hamstring. Again, notice if one side feels different than the other. It's not a bad thing. All bodies are asymmetrical, so that's okay. So just breathe in. Breathing that, or slowing that exhale just a little bit. One last big deep inhale. Exhale, place that right foot towards the ground. You're going to turn over so that your right outer thigh is on the ground. Keep that left leg crossed. Right hand can come to that left ankle. Left arm can open out towards the side. Your gaze can shift over towards the left. As you're here, soften through your face, soften through your jaw. Gently come out of that and take those feet nice and wide. Extend those arms out by your side. Take up some space here if you can. And close your eyes, soften your face. Bring your attention to your breath. Feeling that breath expand through your belly and through your chest. Exhale, feel yourself ground into the ground underneath you. Releasing any tension, allowing your body to become heavy. Let your shoulders soften. Your jaw relax and let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. And even if it's just with your next few breaths, start to keep your mind focused on what's happening here and now. Gently just bring yourself back into awareness. Maybe taking a big deep inhale, stretching those arms and toes in opposite directions. Mindfully reawaken yourself, come back into your body. And as you move through the rest of your week, I invite you just to find a few moments to breathe. Maybe you do this mobility again. You can repeat it as many times as you'd like, but just make sure you're taking a few moments to not just work out and not just clear your head in that way, but actually tune in and tap into your body and breathe and down regulate a little bit. So thanks for moving with me, and have a great week.